I'm here to shout. I've got a big star today. And by big, I mean it in two ways: literally, figuratively, popularity, whatever. Former Lobos star, former Albuquerque Bulldog star. Man, I've broadcast his games, produced a TV game for him and AJ Bramlett when they were in high school. I mean, to tell you, the commercials were sold out, the gym was sold out, and already from the Lobos to the NBA, and now he's coaching again. We'll get into that story later, but you know who I'm talking about. And it's a thrill for you, as it is for Henry T. The great Kenny Thomas is with us today. And I personally, as a friend, as a professional, I am thrilled. Kenny, Henry T here. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm fantastic. I'm charged up and honored that you're doing my show today.
Oh, I mean, honored. I'm happy you're allowing me to be on your show. You're the great Henry T. You kidding me? You've been doing this for so long. It's like, okay, wow. I met you when I was like 14, 15 or something like that. And then next thing you know, you're broadcasting me and AJ's games because everybody wanted to see the game, and it was a great time. I've known you forever, man. This is an honor just to be able to talk to you.
Uh,
I have mad, I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Kenny. And mutual. Um, the first time I saw you, I was amazed at your versatility for being such a big man. You could take it inside, outside, and then after you scored 40 points, then you have that humility that made you famous. So approachable. Little kids would come up to you, want an autograph. The media wanted your time. You were accessible that way. You were born right. You had parents who cared for you. They the parental guidance that you had kept
Yeah.
you aware that you had to have good character. Let's go back to that day where the parents were grooming Kenny for the life you live today.
My parents, from the standpoint of them being there, and I was raised in the church. I was raised Christian. Um, and then at the same time, there was a lot of principles that they instilled in me. My dad being in the military, there's something there that was instilled in me from a standpoint of a lot of different ways that could come into place, building that character to where I am today. My mother still is a big, huge influence in all of that. I think, with the both of them coming from where they came from, it was just a tremendous. Um, they were a tremendous resource as far as getting me to the point to where I am today. I want to give them all the utmost respect, but at the same time, I got to give that to God because I'm very blessed.
Um, that is amazing. That's Kenny Thomas, godly man, giver. You know, there are givers and takers in this world. You're a great big giver. It's not just Kenny in his own little world. You engulf the people around you, you bring them, you raise them, they become better with your influence. Is that fair?
I would have to base that off of what you just said. I'm once again, I'm very blessed. I'm very humble. Um, if I'm able to be a resource from the standpoint of helping to educate kids, I'm here. I'm starting to do some basketball programming. I just had a basketball tournament in the city of Berlin, and I'm looking at partnering up with them like a month and a half ago. God bless them on the whole flood situation right now. prayers out to the city of Berlin. It's just the response that I've gotten over the last like several weeks has been really good. Being able to come back and get back into this community from a standpoint of supporting different initiatives, because I'm on the board for ALS New Mexico. I'm on the board for the Greater African American Chamber of New Mexico. And I just got elected to the UNM Black Leadership Board. I'm actually on the board. That just happened like a month ago. So I'm just trying to use my brand to help bring awareness and let people know that I'm out, and I'm out here in this community trying to develop relationships and create partnerships and build different things in the community, and at the same time do business stuff as well.
Amen. Not only your brain, but your big heart too, because you're sensitive to the needs of others and to look out for the people of Berlin and the flood situation and children. The other night at the pit, you're being bombarded by people for autographs, selfies, photographs. Man, this community appreciates you for the past, the present, and the future. How about this city and the love that it puts out for you, Kenny?
I mean, this city's been tremendously, it's been tremendous from so many different perspectives, just from the standpoint of support. This community is one of those situations to where if they see that you're giving back and involved in the community, you'll get more support. I think since me being coming here since I was like 13, 14 years old, I've developed a relationship and a huge amount of respect for this city and this state. That's why this city and my state is basically my foundation. If it wasn't for the state of New Mexico, like where would I be? You know what I mean? Even though I could have went to college almost anywhere in the United States, but at the same time, it just felt right coming here to the University of Mexico, especially the fact that I won a state championship and it was in front of 18,000 people, and that was high school.
Wow.
And I'm like, so why would I leave if I could have the same thing and it be my team? So that was the night. It wasn't necessarily my team. There was other guys that were part of it, Charles Smith, Clayton Shields, and all that. But as far as like being the big man inside, I was the big guy inside. You know what I mean? But this community, man, it's been very supportive, and at the same time, I'm here to give back support as well.
Wow. The name Jim Holzman, it rings a bell everywhere in the state of New Mexico. A walking legend, respected and loved by everybody. He touched your life. When I say the name Jim Holzman, how do you respond?
Mm. I would say this first. When I came to Albuquerque High, he made me shave my facial hair, which which I was not stoked about. But at the same time, I shaved it one time, and then he just kind of let it slide a little bit. But the history that comes with him is huge from the standpoint of all the different accomplishments that he's actually achieved being at Albuquerque High and just staying there and finding a home and creating different opportunities for these kids like myself to actually come and play for him. And playing for him, it was an honor because it was me being coached by a legend in its own right. And he stands out on his own with the other coaches in the city. He's just that guy to where he doesn't smile hardly, but once you get to know him, his heart is huge. And at the same time, it was just a good honor being able to play for him and winning state in '95, class in '95, 1 year, won state the same year I came here from El Paso, Texas.
Wow. You know, with Coach Holzman, he brought the best out of you, but I watched you guys closely. You brought the best out of Coach Holzman. It was mutual growth and excitement and challenge. Did you read
It,
that?
yeah, I would agree with that. I think it went both ways. I think he let me be the player that I could be at Albuquerque High. He let me go out there and do what I did best. It was one of those things. It was like always play to the level that I'm supposed to play at. And I know I didn't do that on a continuous basis, but he was always that guy that was always instilling the same principles, which is to play hard and some other stuff as well.
Yeah. I noticed Coach Holzman responded to your influence. And that's a rare statement or a rare observation when you talk about a man who's already a legend and respected to the mountaintop, and then to see, wow, this this instantaneous Jim Holzman reaching down deep in his legendary bag for more personality, knowledge of the game, work ethic, everything. It was beautiful to see a player like you that was inundated with offers from all over the country. Come to Duke, come to North Carolina, come to Indiana, play for us. And you chose the University of New Mexico. And I wonder what kind of growth happened with Coach Halsman and you, because he's got that way to say, Kenny, stay home, play with Coach Bliss.
I don't nothing against Holzman. Um, I think being able to play for him at Albuquerque High was a tool to get me to stay in New Mexico because we had a nice team when I was at Albuquerque High the 1 year. And then once again, I'm going to go back to 18,000 people for a state championship game.
Wow.
That was insane. I don't know how else to put the emphasis on that. And then at the same time, I was already coming here since I was 13, 14. I love the city, I love the state already, and I love the people, and I already had friends here. So it was kind of like me staying at home. I think that had a huge impact on me going uh, on me staying and going to UNM.
Let's go back a little bit again, stay in the high school area for a second. The TV game that I produced and did the play by play for, matching you and AJ Bramlett at La Cueva, no seats left, big line outside. I wish we'd have had a camera outside. The place was inundated. Everybody around, whoever had a TV, wanted and got to see that game. The matchup of the two high school superstars in New Mexico. Do you recall that game, Kenny?
Oh, of course I do. Oh yeah, I remember. Did we win that game? I think we won that game. Or did we lose that game in La Cueva?
I'm not going to say. I'm
I
going to,
don't even remember. I just know I won state that year and La Cueva got knocked out. So I really don't even care.
yeah, in order to fans, because they wanted to see you and AJ go at it. That was a big show.
Yeah, because me and AJ were friends since we were like 13, 14 years old. So we used to hang, I mean, we still do now. We used to hang out back in the day. And I think it just turned into one of those rivalry things. And we were the talk of the town at the time. AJ already was, but then I came, and then it was like the talk of the town of the two bigs. And we had some good guards, Damian Jenkins and Chris Gonzalez, and we had some other pieces that were on our own teams, but to a certain extent, it was about me and AJ.
Your memory is crystal clear. Your vocabulary has been enhanced.
I just talk more.
And you do, and you do it well. I've noticed that about the mature Kenny Thomas as you turn into the businessman, post NBA star. And it's really impressive to see your growth that way. the maturity feeling from the moment you stepped into college or your first day in the NBA to this day? Do you feel that maturity?
Oh yeah, of course I've gotten older. I've gotten wiser. I've learned a lot. I've been through a lot. There's been some ups and downs even during my career, and now there's ups and downs in business, and being an entrepreneur is not easy. But it's also fun. I don't Me having a 9 to 5 is not realistic. There's so many different things that I'm doing to where I even just created my clothing line, some throwback jerseys of UNM with my number and my signature on them. You can actually go to kennythomas.com, and at the bottom you'll see my store. I have my KT logo that
Number
is a,
four?
yeah, my number 4 when I was in the pit.
Wow.
So, and it has my signature on it, and it's a collectible item. And with the season coming up, it's going to be sold in brick and mortar at the games, but it's going to be sold online right now. So you can go to kennythomas.com, which is my website, and you can check out all the different things that I have going on. And there's a lot of other things that's coming as well.
In the year, in present days, because I don't want this interview to be dated, in these present days, the business world is more challenging than ever before. You're facing it head on. What are the challenges and why are you successful?
Well, there's a lot of different challenges that come with it. You have to have good ideas that people actually like. I'm diversified in a lot of different areas to where I just don't lean on one opportunity. Um, there's like several different businesses there's like numerous different opportunities that I have going. It's just a matter of connecting people, and at the same time I'm using my brand, which is my name, to create opportunities as well.
Wow. Wow. Your time as a Lobo, there was your team, pound for pound, might be the all time greatest Lobo team. I mean, you think of yourself, Royce was out there, Clayton Shields, Smith, and we have David Gibson out there, and Lamont Long was on that team. Four of
Mhm.
those players are top scorers in Lobo history. That's amazing. Four of that starting lineup are in the history books at UNM as the leading scorers all time. What do you think of that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think Charles Smith is one, and then I'm second, and then you got like Clayton's right there. I know Royce is up there in 3 pointers. I know Lamont is probably in the top 10 with points or so. Um, we had some different nice lineups between 95 and 99 when I was coming in, when I was there. And and the fact that I was able to go to 4 NCAA tournaments, and at the same time, in those 4 years, only lost 3 games in the pit. I think I was like 73-3 in the pit.
Wow.
Being able to be ranked in the top 25 all 4 years was nice, but it's not one of those things to where I can take all the credit for that, because like you say, there was guys that was around me with the different names that you said that helped contribute to that. I think with me being inside, I think that opened up a lot of doors for the guys on the outside to do their thing, knock down shots, and drive and penetrate and do things like that. That's where Royce was a huge factor as far as being such a huge consistent shooter. I think when he went down, I'll just bring this up now. When he went down my junior year, I think it was my junior year. It was huge. It was a huge loss because we lost our gunner, our shooter. But at the same time, the things that we did those 4 years, the 4 years I was here, it was mesmerizing, because the only thing I remember is 18,000 people, standing room only to get in there. It was nice.
The afternoon against Utah, They're ranked number 3 in the country, but the Lobos were in the top 10 as well, if I'm not mistaken. National TV audience, timeout late in the game. Maybe the play was set up for you, but Royce had the ball walking it up the floor. What do you call about the finishing moments of that game?
It was on CBS, if I'm correct, and it was I think Utah was 3, and I think we were in the top 15. I think for sure. I don't know if it was the top 10 at the time. Um, I just remember Royce getting that ball in front of our bench, and Andre Miller supposedly collapsed or don't look like Royce did anything. But at the same time, there was no call, and ended up hitting that three. It was a huge three, huge.
Wow. The crowd, maybe the all time reaction from the pit crowd was that day, the historical moment. I'm right there engulfing it all. And I never heard the pit quite that loud, nor have I ever seen reactions spontaneously from Lobo fans better than that moment. Do you recall?
I recall that whole situation to a certain extent, and I've seen it on some highlight film not too long ago, actually. But the one that really, really sticks out is the whole rivalry between New Mexico and New Mexico State.
Yeah.
When Clayton Shields hit that half-court shot down at State,
Clay,
I never lost a State in 4 years, so that was kind of huge. And then what else sticks out is when we were in the pit, the game before that, I think my tooth got knocked out. I don't know if you remember that. It got hit. I got elbowed, and then my tooth ended up here on the roof of my gum. They actually called timeout, told the dentist, one of our friends that was in the stands, to come out. He went and got his bag. They numbed me up, moved the tooth back. I went back and I played. And
wow.
then after the game, I went and got like a wire on my front three um, top teeth, and yeah, it was one of those things. I was not gonna lose the State like that. That's like a huge rivalry.
Wow. What a story. And your description is so vivid. It's like right there again. And down at State that one night when Clayton fires in a 75 footer for the win.
Oh
Where
yeah.
you at?
I mean everybody I just saw film on that too. I was jumping around and then everybody went and like jumped in the pile. If you go back and if you look at that film, I did not jump in the pile. I was right there just waiting, just jumping up and down when he made that shot. So
Your greatest moment as a Lobo. When was it? What happened?
oh my God.
You had many.
I had many. The CBS game against Utah was huge. Um, I think us being ranked in the top 25 all 4 years that I was in college I think that's huge.
Yes.
Us being in the top, I want to say top 10. I want to say at least for like a month. I think we were one year,
Heart.
and I
Here's a heartbreak for you. NCAA, you got a number 3 seed,
yeah.
Louisville, and you were going down to the wire, and the final play set up. What happened on that play? Because we all had tears in our eyes.
I can't help you on that one. I don't remember that play. Shoot, that was a long time ago, man.
It was Charles Smith and all you and your buddies were playing Louisville, and I thought Charles was going to take the shot, but the pass went to Gibson instead, and he got the ball with a second left, couldn't do anything with it. Louisville wins, they march on.
This is one of those things, man. I can't answer for Charles. I didn't have the ball, so I wasn't able to shoot it. If I would have had it, might have been a different situation, but I didn't. And David Gibson was put in a tight situation. But at the same time, it was just a bad situation, man. Just bad situation, bad timing on everything. But
Well, from
that,
there,
but that last play wasn't the reason we lost the game. There was other plays during the game to where we could have executed differently or done something better to where that was the factor in us losing the game, I think.
from there you go on, you get drafted by Houston, you're in the NBA. I was at a big party for you at Rudy Chavez' home that night. We were all elated watching the draft take place, and man, we were cheering loud for you. And it was not unexpected. We knew you were going to be going somewhere with somebody. But the night that you realized, man, I'm in the NBA, recall the feeling.
You saw my face.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. I was sitting right there.
Wow.
I'm here at Rudy's house right now.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
Rudy Chavez's house. Um, I was picked 22. We were waiting, and there's only 30 picks, and I was picked 22. And I mean, by the Rockets, and next thing you know, I got a phone call from Rudy Tomjanovich, or was it Carol Dawson? One of the two. Carol Dawson was the general manager at the time, and I was just happy to have the opportunity to be able to go to training camp. And first round in the NBA is guaranteed money, so I'm like, hey, I get a chance to make some money too. So
Incredible. Well, you performed very well in the NBA, much respected, well paid, and you got to play also at Sacramento and Philadelphia and got to suit up next to Allen Iverson and other great stars. Kind of capsulize all of that for us.
well, put it like this. It's one of those things to where you grow up, you see Charles Barkley coming into the pit, having exhibition games and playing other teams, and you're like, whoa, this is Charles Barkley. Then next thing you know, you're drafted by the Houston Rockets, and you got Charles Barkley and Akeem Olajuwon. And then you come in with Steve Francis. We're drafted the same year, and you got Katino Mobley. And then you have all these opportunities to actually be next to these people, and these are the people that you've seen on TV. And then you go, and then I go, and then I have an opportunity to play against Michael Jordan when he was the owner of the Wizards, and he played. I never thought I would be able to meet Michael Jordan. But then you got Clyde Drexler. You have all those greats that were still kind of playing. And then you had the guys that were up and coming, like Vince Carter, who I played in his charity game in Toronto for like 4 or 5 years. And that was a great opportunity. And just being able to connect. And now, even to this day, seeing the people like traveling, I might run into a guy or that was an ex player. And I ran into a couple players that are playing now. And then next thing you know, they're calling me OG. Like I'm an old head now. Like it's unique. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm 43, about to be 44 next weekend on July 25th, and it's like, wow, time goes by, but it's been nice.
Wow. On the floor with Michael Jordan. Do you have a Jordan story?
Yeah, so basically towards the end of the game, we're on the free throw line, and I was about to box him out, and we're in Washington, and maybe a minute and a half left or something like that. I'm getting to box him out. So I thought it'd be a perfect time for me to be able to ask him for his shoes, right? So basically, like if he would sign them, because I've asked other players and I thought it was a great opportunity for me to actually do it. So next thing you know, I ask him, and then he looks at me just like this, like that MJ smile and doesn't say anything, and then I'm like, he's really not gonna answer me right now. So that was it. He never said anything, and I did not get the shoes.
How good was Michael Jordan?
Oh, guys, Michael Jordan, man. I didn't get to play against him in his prime, but he was still Michael Jordan. And at the same time, he guarded me a couple times too. If you want to go check that out on the internet.
Wow. How
Yeah,
about Iverson? What was that like?
awesome. He's one of the smallest guys that ever stepped in between the lines, and some of the amazing stuff he did was unreal. Being able to see that guy night in, night out, especially on the road, he was like a rock star. It's like we were at a home game if we were on the road to a certain extent.
Gee. The collective story of you as an NBA player. I hope you write it in a book someday.
Oh, my book's coming out. It's
We
coming.
we would be fascinated because your memory is so keen, so crystal clear. The names that you just threw out, I mean, bang, bang, bang. I want to hear the stories. I want to see the pictures. But overall, how would you describe your NBA career?
Man, blessing. It was a blessing. And 2010 was my last year on the contract, and ever since then, been trying to figure out life. Life's fun. I'm only 43. I got a whole nother life. I got a whole nother half of my life to live.
Yeah.
I'm just beginning, and just stay tuned. There's a lot coming. Um, there's a lot of involved with from the entertainment sector to the finance side, and there's a lot of things. So stay tuned to follow me. You got to go to my handle, Kenny Thomas NBA, social media, and then stay tuned for some more stuff coming to kennythomas.com.
What gives you that progressive, that initiative to take it to the mountaintop right now?
I mean, it's a matter of just how it's all going to be structured. You know what I mean? And then there's like several different things that are happening. So it's just a matter of taking it a moment at a time, and then just kind of going from there.
My goodness. Well, we're excited for you. Now, when we think of Kenny right now and you come back to Albuquerque, you've got this new responsibility, coaching ex-Lobo greats and into experience we don't know much about. We're curious. You know all the details. We think, no, Kenny's going to come back as the postman. He's going to be the player on that team, which
Mm.
you still could lead because you still have those physical capabilities, but you're the coach. What is this experience all about?
Oh, it's been a nice experience. People probably don't know this, but right before COVID, I was actually coaching at American River College in Sacramento. It's a junior college. I was an assistant coach and I was a recruiter. Now it's a little different because I'm actually coming back and coaching at my school, the alumni team, for this TBT tournament that we're about to go play in Wichita, Kansas. We have our first game July 17th at 7 p.m. on ESPN3, like around 6 or 7 on ESPN3, and it's going to be a tremendous opportunity to where just getting back into coaching and being able to give support back to the UNM. That's the key, and trying to bring awareness to this state and this community that there's a lot of people that actually come into this market that can actually be able to play and go to school. And doing this alumni thing is something that UNM is, I think it's been way overdue, and I think it's something that needs to continue.
Realistically, you're going up against the best of the past greats from every major college in the world. I mean, some All Americans from, man, there's some ex NBA stars. They haven't had enough. They want more. Now, your team is going against the best of the best. How do you look? How do you fare? How do you compare?
Oh, we look great. Um, Brandon Mason put together a great squad. We got some guys that can do a lot of different things. We got some big bodies. We got some guys that can shoot. It's just a matter of us coming out and executing, but the execution starts on defense first. If we're not playing defense, all of these teams and guys in this tournament can obviously score, I'm pretty sure. But at the same time, it's one of those things to where if we come in and stick to our principles and do what we're supposed to, which is sharing the ball and communicating and doing the small little things that actually take to win games, I think we'll be fine.
Wow. Coming back to the pit, experiencing the fans again. That pit has been empty for a year and a half because of COVID. But here we come with Kenny Thomas, and the man, what a roar! I stood by you in the ramp in the pit the other night when your name was called. They got your attention. You looked a little nervous. What kind of reception was I going to have? The biggest reception of the night for Kenny Thomas. What did that feel like?
Oh, the reception was cool. It comes back to one of those things as being blessed to be able to have people still um, pay attention to the fact that I am who I am, and then coming back and giving back, and then the way that the fans greeted me when they actually said my name was cool. It was really nice, but at the same time, remember, I'm used to having 18,000 people in there. So I'm used to being I'm used to being a little bit louder than that. But the fact that I think a few thousand people or whatever it may be came out to support the alumni guys was huge, even though all the guys are not able to go and play in the tournament with us.
Well, the thing about that night that was so amazing to me, your game at the pit Sunday night went head to head with the NBA playoffs, and you still got 5,000 people in there. Wow. What does that say?
It says that the community really loves their UNM Lobo alumni. And the fact that people came out to support us rather than watching the game, I mean, that says a lot. Um, Sports in this community is huge. I think that the athletic department needs to look at other opportunities as far as like bringing kids on board in this community. I think that needs to be addressed more because there's a lot of opportunities for kids that are local that are not getting a chance.
Wow. Wow. Well, it was fun. You had a double role that night to enjoy the surroundings, visit with a lot of players, but you have that serious look. You're on the sideline and you're literally got the coaching um, vocabulary going. You've got the awareness of a coach going on. What did you see in your team?
Well, Sunday night with the exhibition game, that's a unique situation because we're playing in front of fans and family, and it wasn't like a real game situation to where it counts. That's one of those hard games to actually judge and engage because it's a totally different element and environment. But I think over the last week, with watching the guys practice and everything, I think they are actually going to be tuned in to what actually has to happen. We had a great practice yesterday. The guys are on the way there now, and I'm going to meet up with them tomorrow. So it's going to be a great opportunity.
Right now, pressure question, is there a starting lineup that looks probable?
I'm not going to release that right now as far as who we're going to start with because we're a team that people might know, but nobody knows our game plan and what we're gonna do. So I'm not gonna put that out there right now.
What kind of competition? I mean, realistically, what are you facing out there?
I mean, we're facing guys that can play, guys that can play overseas, guys that know how to play the game, ex pros, ex high school guys. It's just one of those things to where it's going to be a variety of different players, and we really don't know. It's one of those things to where you have like a little small training camp and then you have to get ready.
Wow, crazy question, but are you still capable of playing at that level?
Oh, I'm not trying to play at that level. I want to go golf. I'd rather go play golf. I'm not doing that because next thing you know, if I get hurt, pop something, the rehab is gonna suck, and then I can't play golf.
Wow.
No, I rather play golf.
Wow. The pleasures of the real world, the life after, you're thoroughly enjoying.
Oh, I'm enjoying it all, man. I'm just soaking it all in, creating opportunities that are beneficial to go along with my brand. If it doesn't go with my brand, it's, I move on to the next.
The word happiness, how do you correlate? What is happiness to Kenny Thomas right now?
You see this smile right now? That's happiness. I don't know how I don't know how else to put it. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Peace of mind, that phrase, what does it mean to you?
Blessed, positivity, being humble, engaging, just attacking. There's a lot of different things that come with that with me. Because in business, it's the same mentality, I think.
But you're a competitor. Does the word competitor enter the world of business to you?
No, that is one word that can go with it. Because being in business, it's being competitive and driven. Not a lot of people have that.
What's the main ingredient to be successful in business? Because you've talked like a very creative man. You've got a very creative mind right now. How big is your creativity in the world of business?
Being creative is just looking at opportunities from the perspective of does it go with my brand? I think that alone right there is laying the foundation of what should be and what should not be, and what I should be engaging in and what I should not be engaging in. Prime example, me and Rudy Chavez, we're about to start our name, image, and likeness agency to where we can go after these Lobo kids, which we already have, started from the standpoint of getting them compensation while they're in college. Because if I would have been in college, man, who knows if I would have went to the NBA because I might have been rich already with all the money I could have made. But it's good that these kids are getting a fair shake now, being able to have the opportunity to be able to make money.
So, this has been talked about for years. The reality is now for kids to be paid in this situation, image and likeness, and who they are as a college star. I'll use the phrase, it's about time. What do you say?
Oh, it is. It's about time. I agree. Now is the right time. I mean, when is the right time? It had to happen at some point, and it's happening now for these kids.
You're doing business and you're in partnership with one of the most respected people that I know. I worked with him. He was my color commentator, creative, best vocabulary I've ever been around. Rudy Chavez, what's that like?
Oh, I mean, Rudy's one of those guys that he has his hands in everything. He knows a lot of people, and there's certain elements he brings to the table. And from a trusting standpoint, he's one of the guys that I fully trust, which takes a lot for me to get there. And why not have an opportunity to create something with somebody that you trust, and especially somebody that knows people in this market. And at the same time, people might think what they want to think. They think what they want to think about me. But it's one of those things to where he's my guy. So
Amen. We have 10 minutes left. I want to take the final minutes here to talk about Lobo basketball now. Are you still a fan? Do you watch them from a distance? Do you get on the internet and keep track of who's who? And the new coach, Richard Pitino, your early thoughts.
well, I watched the team last year, from the standpoint of every game. And now it's one of those things to where I don't know much about Patino from that perspective. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Um, uh, I don't know what to say. It's one of those things you just gotta wait and see.
To see the program dip, to see it fall a little bit. I mean, this is Lobo basketball, the biggest show in New Mexico, 18,000 fans. Now it's cut down to 14. First, I want to get your reaction to that. Trying to improve the pit. Was it worth it getting rid of 4,500 seats?
No comment.
But we
I'm
know
gonna
it.
stay. I'm gonna stay neutral on that one. Um, they did the renovation and they got what they wanted out of it. I don't know how to answer that one. I
Well,
mean, and with Lobo basketball where it is today, it's a little bit embarrassing. But hopefully, with the new situation, it'll get back to where it's supposed to be. Um, Hopefully, we don't have continue to have a turnover in coaches. I know that it was a great hire, hiring Danny Gonzalez because he's a local guy, and he came up to me on Sunday. He made some amazing comments and which I did not expect. And I want to say thank you to Danny for approaching me and said, "Hey, Kenny, if there's anything I can do for you, you let me know." It's been a minute since I've gotten anything like that from that perspective, but I've always been available and I'm always going to be a source for the University of Mexico. It's just a matter of if they want to use my brand, if it's for recruiting, whatever they want to do, I just want everybody to know that I never, ever gave up on UNM basketball or UNM athletics. It's just things that are out of my control.
wow, wow. Well, it's so good to have you back. And the other night, people just working hard to get to you and to get your attention and to see you being so accessible. And listening to you on the radio the other day, I said, wow, that's Kenny Thomas. How refined he is. His speech is impeccable, his character too, and just the way you deliver your personality today. Man, I was like, bravo, Kenny. You're on top of the world. You're truly a public relator, you're a communicator. You fit the role as a businessman with all that composure and maturity.
Man, thank you for that. I'm just trying to grow and evolve every day. Um, I was always taught to receive more blessings, you got to give back. And me being in this community, I'm always willing to give back. But at the same time, it's nice to be able to get some support, which is happening. And I'm just looking forward to continuing my journey. If it's to be a part of New Mexico, which is gonna be, and to just like I said earlier, just to continue to get better and evolve.
National celebrity of which you are. You go to airports, you go different places, you're in malls, and they say, Kenny Thomas, Sixers, Rockets. Wow, he was the Sacramento, great Lobo. I mean, so many ways to recognize you. Your celebrity is huge. Who recognizes Kenny Thomas? Movie stars too?
Yeah, I mean, celebrities. I've met a lot of people. What's nice is being back in New Mexico and people do the double take sometimes because they're like surprised that they actually see me and I still look the same, thank God. I'm just a little older with gray hair. But everywhere I go here, it's a blessing that people still remember me and I'm taking pictures and it feels good because if you weren't remembered, that would be a totally different story. I'm just very grateful.
Wow. Magic Johnson has taken a liking to you. How about your relationship?
I mean, it's a matter of me having his resources. We have the same business attorney. It's a there's a lot of different situations to where his resources might bring opportunities for me and my brand, which has happened, and things are kind of starting to develop and happen more. So it's just a matter of me taking a day at a time and then just trying to figure out different opportunities that go with my brand.
Our final question. You come back home. We don't know how long you're going to be here, but it's great to have you home at the moment. What's your message to all those people watching this show right now who reside in every quadrant of New Mexico who respect and love Kenny Thomas?
I would say to the state of New Mexico and the people that actually like me, from the perspective of what you just said, stay tuned. There's a lot more coming from Kenny Thomas. Not to say that in third person, which that kind of came off bad, but there's a lot of different things that I have coming, and my heart and my soul is with the state of New Mexico. I'm always going to start there first. Always have, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I just can't give up. And there's always changing people in office and different things like that. But it's just a matter of, I think, having the right people that's going to support me. And there's a lot of different communities and different organizations that's willing to do that.
You do clinics everywhere. You've done your share here. What's your message to those young kids growing up in a world that's different than the world you grew up in? What's your message to them today that'll enlighten their life and make them stronger?
Our generation today needs to realize that they have dreams and all, but not everybody can be able to be a professional athlete. It's a very very small percentage to where you that an individual could get that opportunity. And what I would say is just try and do the best you can with whatever you're doing. But the most important thing is the books, because if you don't have the books, what's life after sports? You know what I mean? Because sports is not always going to be there.
Your highlight moment ever as we end our Thomas experience today. When you're driving down the freeway and that one moment comes to mind, what is it?
The one moment that comes to mind, I would say go to kennythomas.com and check out all the different things I have going. That's my new site. And go buy some UNM clothing with my signature and stay tuned for more. And to follow me.
Give me the man you dunked on that everybody knows his name. Household
No,
name. And Kenny took him to the hoop.
I'm not doing that.
No?
I'm not doing that.
Who did it to you?
I mean, I dunked on people and people have dunked on me. It's just a part of the game. It's
You're
just a part of the game.
you are a blessing to us, Kenny. I'm so flattered that you said yes to your old friend Henry T to be on the show today. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Henry. God bless you. And whenever you let me know, I got you.
Thank you, buddy. See you. Have a great day.
Cool. You too.
Again,
All right, bud.
take
Bye.
care. Wow. What a moment in time for you and for me to have Kenny back home and to be able to have him on the show and share him with all of you. It's just real life. And I appreciate this young man who was a kid who's grown into a man. And did you hear how articulate, how he answered every question so calm, cool, and collective with great judgment at the end? I don't want to do that. No. Respect for mankind, respect for those great players that were a part of his great life. Wow. Thank you to Jimmy Tran, our producer. You know, I've worked with producers all my career, and there have been some magnificent, I mean, great producers. Jimmy Tran, God bless him, tops them all. And we have some things coming your way. They're going to move a couple of mountains because there's more deep in the heart of Henry T. And I'm far from being done in this business. The real comeback is on its way. Thank you again. Thank you to our sponsors that are always there for us. Amestoy Drywall, the Amestoy family, Pierre Amestoy and his great family, always there for us. Man, Rax Lumber, Richie Tabbitt, the Tabbitt family. Ooh, Indigo Mortgage, Ben Lucero, Indigo Mortgage, the guy that just missed the Olympic Games by less than an inch and a little breeze blowing the bar into the pit. He thought he was on the Olympic team, and then a little gust of wind comes, knocks the bar off. Ooh, heartbreak. But he's built one of the greatest businesses in New Mexico history. Ben Lucero, Indigo Mortgage. Yeah, the Hydro Bar with Tim Baca. Tim and Julie up there making a magnificent business with H2O. Greatest water business that we know of. Yeah. And Kevin at the canteen, been with us since the get go, loves us, loves you. And they feed all those students around APS that delicious food every day. And then Action Jackson Compaction. Chuck Jackson, what a stud. Oh, man. Race driver. We're going to get him on the show soon, and he'll talk about his hobby of being a race driver. Chuck Jackson, we love him. He's so good for all of us, to all of us. We say thank you for being with us today. And thank you, Kenny Thomas, and thank you, Rudy Chavez, his partner, the guy I work with, maybe the most colorful color commentator in Lobo basketball history when he worked with Henry T. Thank you. That's it. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday and special episode today of Henry T. Game Face Live. I enjoyed it. Have a great day. See you soon, right here, same place. And enjoy the replay of this show. Take care of yourself. Bye.